Ang health insurance ay isang part ng financial journey ng isang tao para makatulong upang maprotektahan sa mga unexpected financial challenges tulad ng pagkakasakit, dala ng mataas na gastusing pang-medikal. Good evening, everyone. My name is Matt, and welcome to another episode of It's a Yes. So for tonight, pag-uusapan natin ang iba't ibang klase ng insurance or health insurance for that matter that is available in the Philippines at paano ito makakatulong sa ating financial journey. And of course, kasama pa rin natin ang ating mga ka-Lifelinkers. We have Attorney Marichu Phua. Attorney, maayong gabi.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. And of course, we have Bing Pintor. Bing, maayong gabi.
Good evening sa mga viewers sa It's a Yes. Good evening, Sir Matt, Sir Attorney. Good evening.
All right. And for tonight, we have a very special guest. He is the protection and health business partner of AXA Philippines. Please welcome Mr. Jimbo Yamsuan. Good evening, Jimbo.
Good evening. Good evening, Matt. Good evening, Bing. Good evening, Attorney Chu.
All right.
Good evening, everyone.
So for tonight, pag-uusapan natin ang health insurance for that matter. Ang mga available kasi sa Philippines is actually we have PhilHealth, HMO, and of course, health insurance. So hihimay-himayin natin yan for tonight. And of course, it's still anchored sa ating financial roadmap, which is yung wealth protection stage, no? Din sa second stage, no? Which is very, very important. Now, all right, to start with, ano nga ba itong mga health insurances or insurances that will protect us from financial challenges or financial difficulties na to. First, we have, of course, yung PhilHealth. Ano nga ba itong PhilHealth na ito at paano ito makakatulong sa atin? Attorney Jimbo, if...
Okay, so...
Sige.
Sige, Attorney, go ahead. You can go first.
Medyo nag-overlap dahil sa connection, no? So, but in general, no, PhilHealth is yun, it's more on from the side of our government, no, na meron tayong kumbaga subsidy in terms of our medical expenses when we get hospitalized. But that's the general concept, no, para for everyone to understand. But we know that it's not really sufficient. That's why we are here to discuss also other options, no, para to supplement the assistance we can get from PhilHealth.
All right, Jimbo, you may want to add something about PhilHealth.
Yeah, actually, it is our national health insurance program, no? So every Filipino is entitled to PhilHealth coverage, no? And entitled meaning everyone can get it. Walang pinipili, may sakit ka, wala, diba? You're healthy, you're not, you are entitled to PhilHealth, no? So it's an entitlement that every Filipino has. So again,
unemployed, everyone is entitled for this kind of benefit provided by the government.
Yes, oo. And the flip side of it is that since it's available to everyone, no, the limits are not so high. Alam naman natin, no, na there's a reason why in the hospital they call it a PhilHealth deduction, because it does not cover the whole thing. Deduction lang, meaning pambawas lang sa actual na babayaran. And that's how PhilHealth works.
Correct. So, ibig sabihin, hindi pala talaga in full nako-cover kung sakaling magkasakit or ma-hospitalize ang isang member. No? Parang gano'n. Alright. So, we have another We have another insurance type which is available in the Philippines na HMO naman. And usually ang HMO is actually provided by private medical healthcare insurance, except na it will give you an access only within their network. Kumbaga parang, although usually comprehensive and customizable yung plans na yan, but actually limited on a certain amount annually. So, ibig sabihin, yung bigger yung premium na binabayaran ng isang employer or individual, the higher yung annual allowance niya. No, meron din siyang insurance, meron din siyang inpatient, may outpatient services, meron din surgery, tsaka yung mga ancillary services tulad ng laboratory tests at medication. No? And then marami namang mga HMO providers in the Philippines. No? And then very common kasi siya na pinaprovide sa Philippines ng mga private companies on top of the PhilHealth na nabanggit natin a while ago. So at least mas mababawasan pa yung mga hospitalization expenses or medical expenses for that matter. You might want to add something on that, Attorney or Jimbo?
Attorney first.
Ladies first.
So actually, I'm not so familiar with HMO. No, it's operations, but in general, yes. Again, this can be a sort of a financial assistance when somebody, related to medical expenses. But as you said, it's compared sa PhilHealth. This is more of a private arrangement. Kaya normally, you can get it on your own, no, personal mo, or this can be given as benefits by some companies, no, or by some employers. So it also has its limits, and hindi naman siya masyadong malaki talaga. And yun, most HMO packages, no, would include mga laboratory tests, no, to a certain limit na mapapalibre yung consultations mo. But it's not really parang enough to cover when we say critical illnesses na yung pag-usapan. No, yung kumbaga mamahaling mga sakit na, no, when it comes to material, substantial expenses involved, no. So that's how I see it.
Okay, thank you so much for that information, Attorney. What Jimbo, you might want to add something on HMO?
Yeah. Actually, to add to that, no, and the reason why it's not enough, it's because an HMO, the meaning of HMO means it's a health maintenance organization, no? Meaning the purpose is to maintain health. No? So, kaya if you notice, if you have an HMO, to our viewers now, who have an HMO, if you notice, parang ang ganda-ganda, no? Kasi kailangan mong magpa-consult sa doctor, you don't have to pay anything. Kailangan mong magpa-laboratory, you don't have to pay anything. No? May nararamdaman kang konting sakit, you don't have to pay anything. No? Pero what most people don't see in having an HMO is when they finally have a major medical condition. No? That's when they start to feel na kulang. No? In fact, from PhilHealth to an HMO, even if you have both, if you get hospitalized for a medical condition, you still end up paying 56% of the total hospital bill. No, and that's a large chunk. If you're hospitalized and the hospital bill is 1 million, your HMO will only cover a certain portion. PhilHealth will only be deducted to a certain portion. So you still have to pay out of pocket, meaning you use your own money to pay for your hospitalization. No? And when you talk about building wealth, no, that obviously is not a good strategy to build wealth. No, to pay for your hospitalization. So that's what an HMO does. And it's exactly designed for that purpose, to maintain health. Kaya mababa lang yung limits niya. Kasi maintenance lang naman eh. It's not really for major medical conditions.
All right. Thank you very much for that information. No? So I think it's important also for our viewers now na at least malaman nila yung how important it is to understand these two different health insurance. No? First of all, PhilHealth and now HMO. And of course, lastly, no, another insurance that is available in the Philippines is, of course, the health insurance. Can you please expound more on this health insurance and paano talaga siya makakaprotekta sa isang tao? Since na-mention mo nga a while ago that HMO is limited only up to a certain amount.
Well, on health insurance part, no, basically, like I said, though, if you get hospitalized, you end up paying 50% of the expenses out of your own pocket. What the health insurance should do, is that it will pay for that 56%. No, in fact, it will pay for the whole thing. And that's the difference between having a health insurance and an HMO. No, a health insurance is basically having a plan that will make somebody pay for your hospital bills. Someone else will pay for your hospital bills. No, it doesn't get any better than that. And in terms of wealth accumulation and preservation, no, that's definitely a better strategy, no, because you're not using your own money to pay for the total hospital bills. You're only using a sum to pay for the premium for that health insurance part. No? And how does it do this? It's a hundred. It has a larger annual benefit limit than an HMO. No, and it will cover most hospitalizations. Some of the plans will allow you to choose your own doctor. Unlike an HMO, if you have an HMO, to those who are viewers right now who have an HMO, you'll probably notice na kailangan yung doctor accredited ng HMO. No, so your choices of doctors are limited to those that are accredited by the HMO. Whereas a health insurance will allow you to basically choose the best doctors. Now, sometimes the best doctors are not necessarily accredited by any HMO. No? So this is the main difference with the health insurance compared to an HMO. No? The major medical conditions, cancer, the therapy that follows it, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, is ideally covered by a health insurance plan. No? And also the major conditions like a heart disease, stroke, these are all usually covered by a health insurance plan. And that's what makes it different from an HMO.
All right. Thank you very much for that information. Bing, perhaps you have a question to our guest for tonight.
Yes, actually, it's a common question, but I need to ask this one, no, again. Uh, what is the best age to get a health plan? That is very common, but I need to ask this.
Well, sa akin, parang you don't have to wait for that, kumbaga, sinasabi nating best age, no? Because you actually, we actually, each and every one of us, para sa akin, I believe that each and every one of us should have health insurance, no? And we have to get it now because illnesses strike anytime, anywhere, and to anyone. No, so we don't need to determine and wait for that parang best age. We should get it now, no? Lahat tayo. No, kasi walang pinipili eh. I mean, hindi naman siya ganyan kumbaga, discriminatory yung mga sakit ba na pinipili niya, ayoko muna kay Junior kasi 7 years old pa lang siya. Or, ayoko muna kay Maria kasi wala pa siyang 500,000 or 1 million sa bangko para pangbayad. So, wala eh. It can happen to anyone. And worse, no, anytime. Pwede bukas or pwede 5 years from now or 10 years from now. No? So, ganyan siya unexpected. So, we have to prepare now. No?
All right. Thank you very much for that, Attorney Jimbo. Perhaps you may know when is the best time to really get all of this, especially the health insurance.
Now, basically, you don't have to whatever age you're in. The moment you the if you don't have it yet, no, kailangan ngayon pa lang you have to start thinking about it. Some people start as early as kids, no? And some people when they get to the latter years, no, and sometimes the common excuse is I don't have a budget for it. Pero mas mahal magkasakit, mas mahal magbayad sa hospital kesa having to pay an insurance premium. No? So at any point in time, if the question you have to ask yourself is, can you afford to get sick? If you can't afford to get sick, I'm sure you can afford getting some protection, no, for health illnesses. And like attorney said, no, it's unexpected. You never know when it's going to happen. And the pandemic last year and currently now has made us realize that more. No, you never know when it's going to happen. So the best time is now. If you're listening and you don't have, and you have not, you tell your, if you're listening and you know you don't have a plan, no, then better start thinking about it and better start to think about it.
Ayan,
Yeah,
maganda yun.
Matt, in addition to that, no, kasi normally, when I go to people, the common hindrance kasi to buying, an insurance plan, yung parang reason nila is that it's mahal. Basically, yan yung it's expensive. So, normally, nag-illustrate ako sa kanila, which is more expensive. Paying for the premium, which is like fixed amount, then meron tayong 10 years or 15 years or depende no sa payment period nyo, or paying for a loan which has an interest na kunyari nagkasakit ka, then ang gasto mo 1 million tapos wala kang preparation. Sana mas mahal buying an insurance for 1 million or paying for the loan, a 1 million loan with interest. 'Di ba? At saka sana kung yung loan available kaagad, or sana yung loan parang mura lang yung interest. Mahal pa kasi kailangan mo kaagad eh. So, yan yung mga scenarios if wala kang insurance. Your parang option is a loan. Bihira lang naman kasi di ba? We only have like how many? 3 to 5% na kino-consider natin elite na who are very, very liquid, no? But not every Filipino is in that situation na at any time may mangyari, meron kang ready cash pang bayad. So, for an average Filipino na walang health insurance tapos wala pang savings, the option talaga is loan. So, hindi siya, nasabi kanina ni Jimbo na hindi siya maganda as a strategy for wealth building or wealth preservation kasi utang na kaagad ang kumukuha sa sa pondo mo.
Alright, thank you very much for that. No, para sa akin, being, as mentioned ka din, ako, I'm in line also with Jimbo and Attorney Chu na the best time is really now. Kasi nga, parang, syempre, these are actually unexpected. Eh. Hindi naman natin alam kung kailan tayo magkakasakit or kailan tayo maaaksidente for that matter. Ang iisip kasi ng ibang tao, since bata pa sila, ayaw nilang kumuha yung mga health insurance for that matter kasi feeling nila malakas sila all the time. So, yun nga, as na-mention kasi kanina na medyo hindi natin alam kung kailan mangyayari ito. So, the best thing for us to be able to do this is for us to be prepared para at least maprotektahan tayo dun sa mga risk na to. Kasi kung hindi natin poprotektahan yung sarili natin, of course, baka mamaya yung mga na-save ninyo ay maubos. And in the end, of course, na-mention nga rin yan ni attorney a while ago na baka umabot na magkautang-utang kayo. Ayaw niyo din namang mangyari yun. later on. And ayaw nyo din for sure na umaasa lang tayo sa tulong ng ibang tao. So why while na mas bata pa tayo at mas able, kasi meron nga kasabihan, hindi nga tayo kailangang kumuha ng health insurance kung kailan tayo may sakit. It's important that while we are healthy, kailangan kumuha na tayo ng ating health insurance. Okay. So anyways, so far you might want to add something, Attorney Chu, Jimbo, and Bing. Okay, it's already.
Well, sa akin, no, sa akin, it's definitely a yes, no. Kailangan meron tayo. Each and every Filipino should have insurance, no. Hindi lang yung sa PhilHealth na sinasabi natin kanina or hindi lang HMO. Dapat meron tayong atin sariling health insurance para we can be completely protected from this financial risk. Kasi sa akin, for me, a critical illness, that's what I always tell my client, no? For me, a critical illness is a quick eraser of our wealth, no? So, ilang taon mo yan pinag-iipon, tapos isang sakit lang, erase yan lahat. So, that's my equation, no? Yan yung parang, parang synonym ko sa critical illness, it's a quick eraser. Okay, so it's a yes, definitely.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Attorney Jimbo. Your last message to our viewers for tonight.
Well, to everyone, it's a yes for me. No, it's a yes because we see a lot of videos on YouTube. We see a lot of speakers talking about how to build wealth and how to invest. And we're always told to invest, no, because that's how you build wealth. No, and health insurance or health protection is an investment. You might be surprised, no? But investment, I don't gain anything from it. No? An investment is an investment that is not measured in terms of return. No, you don't make a profit out of it, but it's an investment that is measured in terms of a reduction of costs. And that is why health protection is also an investment. With that, it's a yes. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a yes. Bing, any message?
Yes, for me, health insurance is the best comparing to health and HMO because it's a stress-free. You have the freedom to choose the right doctor, the right hospital, and a worry-free when you have a health problem. So it's a yes.
Alright. Maraming salamat again, Attorney Chu, Bing, and Jimbo, no? Ang bilis ng oras kanina, parang nag-start lang tayo. But anyways, that's so much to be discussed, no? If you want to know more about how to protect your wealth and have a ano ba tawag ito? Parang smooth
Holistic
journey, holistic, no? Na financial journey, talk to any financial advisor that will help you mitigate yung mga financial risks natin. At na-mention na natin yan, ano yung mga financial risk, of course, having a disease or pag-aksidente or sudden yung mga financial na mga risks na to, no? And it's important to have peace of mind, life with legacy, and of course, financial freedom. And with that, maraming salamat sa inyo, sa lahat ng nanood ngayong gabi. Thank you very much, Jimbo, for giving this opportunity to be with us tonight. And I hope to see you again in the future, in our future podcast. And of course, Attorney Marichu, maraming salamat. And Bing. And with that, thank you so much and see you again next week for It's a Yes. Bye, everyone.
Bye.